Hey folks, it's Rob, and welcome back. We're continuing our series today on the Monstrous Compendium Appendix for the Mystara setting from 1994's TSR. Uh, Today we're on page 98 to start with, and we have this lovely green critter here. You know what? Even though it is a little washed out, this is actually a fairly good scan today. So yay! What do we have here? We got this long green-haired guy with a dagger on his hip. Seems to be something under that beard, thankfully. Got big old feet with no hair on top, big old hands. Wears a ring, as you can see there. Uh, hey, at least he's smiling, right? Maybe he's not smiling in a great way, but you know, at least he's not showing teeth. Um, yeah, we got a couple mushrooms down there and a little dragonfly. Yeah, nice little natural setting. Let's go and get into it. It's called a Shargugh. Uh, its climate terrain is forest, frequency very rare, organization solitary or clan, activity cycle any, diet omnivore, intelligence average 8 to 10, so, typical human intelligence, treasure type U, alignment neutral, number appearing 1d3, armor class 7, movement 15, so a little faster than a person. Hit dice 3 to hit AC 0, 17. It gets one attack, which is damage for attack is a d4 bite or by weapon. Special attacks are stone throwing. Special defenses are concealment and transport via plants. No magic resistance. Size small, 3 foot tall. Morale steady at 11 and XP value 175. Shargugh, pronounced. Thankfully, we have a pronunciation guide and I'm doing it correctly. Shargugh are small, hairy humanoids about 3 feet tall. Their long, chronically matted and tangled hair is usually walnut brown, although some very rare individuals have dark green locks. So we have a depiction of the very rare individual, apparently. In addition, males have long, unkempt beards. Shargugh complexions tend to be dark and ruddy, their features coarse but oddly handsome, their eyes amber or deep green. Shargugh wear ragged clothing made from woven leaves, grass, and scraps of fur and old cloth. They rarely, if ever, wear shoes. Adults of either sex weigh between 30 and 40 pounds, as Shargugh can live about 250 years. Shargugh speak their own language and the secret tongue of druids. About 35% can also speak common. Combat. A Shargugh can deliver a nasty bite, but 50% of all groups arm themselves with daggers or short swords. At least one member of an armed group will have a silver weapon. All Shargugh are expert stone throwers. Each typically carries 1d4 plus 1 stones and can hurl one per round with a range of 20, 40, 60. These stones inflict 1d4 points of damage. A Shargugh gains a plus 3 attack to attack rolls when hurling them. Shargugh are well adapted to their woodland homes and can pass through the brambles and undergrowth with ease, just as druids can. Furthermore, they can conceal themselves in wooded areas with a 90% chance of success. They can climb vines and trees as if a thief climbs walls, 75% chance, and can move silently 85% of the time. Expert sneak thieves, they have an 85% chance to pick pockets. 5 times a day, a Shargugh can use transport via plants, though the maximum distance it can travel is 600 yards. The Shargugh always has a 100% chance of arriving at the location it desires, so long as the location is within 600-yard range. Shargugh are mischievous and tend to steal valuable objects from any outsider they encounter, unless the intruder bribes them with food or drink. They aggressively protect their woodland homes and do not tolerate wanton destruction of forests. They use their ability to hide in and move through undergrowth to avoid hand-to-hand combat with stronger creatures. Their pickpocket and transport via plant abilities enable them to steal weapons and spell components from their foes. then throw stones from a safe distance. Habitat/society. Shargugh lives singly or in family groups. Families usually number 3, 2 parents and a single offspring. The young Shargugh will be non-combatant infant 25% of the time and a juvenile or young adult with full adult abilities 75% of the time. Each individual or group claims a section of woodland roughly 24 miles across. Shargugh generally maintain friendly relations with any good or neutral woodland creatures living in their territory, and will tolerate evil creatures as well, provided that these creatures do not harm the woods or try to subjugate the Shargugh. Dryads, centaurs, unicorns, and treants usually can count on the Shargugh as allies. I'll remind you that we did read a neutral alignment, so that fits. Ecology. Shargugh have symbiotic relationships with their territories. The Shargugh's life force both draws strength from and gives strength to its woodland home. In addition, Shargugh actively care for their territories, pruning the trees, picking the fruit, and fending off external threats. Shargugh never voluntarily leave their territories. If forced to do so, they sicken and die in only 1 or 2 days. If a section of woodland loses its Shargugh, it becomes cursed and infertile for 7 years. During this time, no new trees or plants will grow. The existing plants don't die, but they produce no fruit or offspring. Only a remove curse spell from a druid of at least 12th level or a wish can restore fertility to the land before the end of the 7 years. A young Shargugh never really leaves its parents' territory. The youngster either remains until the parents die, in which case it inherits their territory, or the youngster and parents move to opposite sides of the parents' territory. Eventually, the two groups form 2 entirely new territories with a common border. But then, where does the other Shargugh come? I mean, we describe mating pairs. There's got to be an exception for, like, I got to go find my own, right? I got to find a new place. Admittedly, they live about 250 years. Who knows how long it takes to make new Shargugh, right? To birth one and raise it. But yeah, if they leave their territory and die in a couple days, it's a bit troublesome. And it doesn't hold up on a little bit of inspection, and that's a problem with the description. So, as a DM, that's up to you to figure that kind of stuff out if it becomes relevant. I mean, really, nobody really needs to know the breeding patterns of Shargugh unless it becomes important. Excuse me. I was nearly not able to make this recording today. I had lost my voice 3 days ago. And this is actually back to a reasonable enough a standard I didn't want to miss making the video today. I apologize for coughing directly into the mic. Those of you with tinnitus, please know that that's not going to be service related. My apologies, though. We're going to do one other monster today, and then I'm going to wrap up because, like I said, I did lose my voice a few days ago. We are managing, but even I was beginning to feel the dryness as we got to the end of the entry there, and I do apologize again for coughing. Right. What do we got here? We got a Shark-kin. And again, it's not a bad scan of the picture. The most it's actually lost from what's here in my hand is that you can't really see very well the little tiny air bubbles that are around in this picture to indicate that this is underwater. There's little bubbles here and here, coming off the spear and around behind the guy over here. I'm assuming it's a guy. I mean, it's a shark person. Who knows? But hey, if you're going to be running underwater adventures, and boy, heck, the sea people's thing is a thing with the Mystara setting, you may want to make use of this. So let's get into it. Shark-kin. I know, so creatively named. Let's call them Shark-kin. Yeah. Climate terrain, any ocean. Frequency, common. Organization, tribal. Activity cycle, any. Diet, omnivore. I bet you didn't expect a shark to be omnivorous, but here we are. Intelligence, average, 8 to 10. Treasure type, U. Alignment, neutral. So again, neutral, true neutral. Number appearing 1d4 times 20. There we go. Yeah, 20 to 80 of these appear. Armor class 5. They swim, of course, at speed 24, so quite swiftly. May I suggest, if you're going to be running an extensive underwater game, to set up a maneuverability like you do the flying creatures. Because effectively that's what they do underwater, is that they fly. But in water, right? You do you, though. No need to complicate things if you don't see the need to. Hit dice 2 to hit AC 019. Number of attacks 3 or 2, which is interesting. Damage per attack is a D3 claw, and a D6 bite, or 1d6 bite and any weapon that they're wielding. Okay. Special attacks nil, special defense nil, magic resistance nil, size medium, 6 to 7 feet long. Morale steady at 12, XP value 65, or 120 for an elder. These nomadic marine humanoids have large, staring eyes, fin-crested heads, and scaly skin. Their hands and feet are webbed and clawed. A shark-kin's legs are vestigial. The creature swims by means of its powerful alligator-like tail. That look alligator-like to you? I see the big fin on the back looks very sharkish to me. But I mean, I guess with the legs next to it is a bit alligatory. Actually, because this is a little paler than what I'm holding, the leg actually stands out a little more in this picture. Who knew? Most shark-kin are reddish-brown, although some are dark blue or blue-black. Again, we have the unusual exception pictured. The skin is usually covered with patterns of spots or bands of lighter color. White or yellow in reddish-brown individuals, silver, light blue, or metallic green in blue or blue-black shark-kin. Each individual's pattern or spots or bands is unique. A shark-kin's eyes have a reflective layer that concentrates any available light. This allows them to see well even in dark or murky water. It also makes their eyes seem to glow like a cat's when bright light strikes them, and that's exactly why cat eyes show up when in the dark. Or when, you take a picture, you get that light bounce back that kind of sends the light back through the receptors a second time, which is why they can see so well in the dark. It's also kind of how cat's eyes work on the highway. Excuse me. We'll get through this. Then you won't have to listen to me cough anymore. Can't help myself with diversions, I swear. All right. Adult shark-kin of both sexes are between 6 and 7 feet long, measured from nose to tail, and weigh 190 to 250 pounds. Most live to be 120 years old, though some individuals have been known to live twice as that long. Shark-kin speak their own language. 40% can also speak common or the tongue of another ocean race. Combat. Shark-kin are aggressive hunters, but usually avoid combat with intelligent species, attacking only in self-defense or to defend their territory. Adult shark-kin carry javelins and tridents. Out of every 4 in a hunting or war party, that also carries a net. Unarmed shark-kin attack with claws and bite. Those carrying a weapon can both attack with the weapon and a bite in the same round. The most important part of any group's defense is its pack of pet sharks. Each shark-kin tribe maintains a pack of 46 sharks, 1 for every 2 or 3 adult shark-kin. 25% of the sharks in the pack have 7 to 8 hit dice, 25% have 5 to 6 hit dice, and the remainder have 3 or 4 hit dice. If the shark-kin tribe numbers 50 or more, One of their sharks will be the giant specimen with 10 or 12 hit dice. Shark-kin have an empathetic link to their sharks and can give them basic commands such as come, go, turn, stop, and attack at a range of 360 yards. In battle, Shark-kin and their sharks attack on a broad front, trying to surround their foes in all three dimensions. Then, at a signal from their elder, they all converge on a single point in the enemy ranks, trying to fight as few foes as possible with as many allies as possible. So, pretty reasonable mob tactic. Habitat/society. Shark-kin live in tribal groups led by an elder with 3 hit dice. Each tribe claims a territory covering about 120 square miles, which they vigorously defend from all other ocean races. They tend to be hospitable to strangers, but visitors are not encouraged to stay long. No outsiders allowed to hunt in their territory or take anything from it without permission from the tribal elder. Shark-kin tend to be very possessive of any shipwrecks in their territory, as these usually act as artificial reefs teeming with sea life. Adventurers seeking salvage rights must be prepared to bargain well or fight hard. Shark-kin spend their time foraging and hunting for food or caring for their sharks, who serve them much as hunting dogs serve humans. If the hunting in the area is particularly good, such as near a spawning ground for fish, a Shark-kin tribe will construct temporary homes out of whatever materials are at hand and settle down as long as the bounty lasts. Otherwise, they never stay in one area within their territory for long. One moment, please. If a tribe's elder is killed or dies, the surviving adults undergo a mysterious change. Over the next few weeks, their legs grow and their gills change to allow them to breathe both air and water. This change, which sages believe is a throwback to the race's common ancestral origins, allow the Shark-kin to move on land as easily as a human. The tribe's senior adults, 10 plus 1d10 individuals of both sexes, walk ashore and head to a traditional site, usually a hilltop or mountain, where they conduct an age-old ceremony to select a new leader. Thereafter, the group returns to the sea and all Shark-kin revert to their normal forms. That's gotta be wild. Ecology. Shark-kin eat whatever seafood they can catch. They seafood, they eat it, Fish and mollusks form the basis of their diet, though they also prey upon sea mammals when they are available. That'll be our reading today. Thank you very much for your time and attention today, and I apologize again for the poor state of my reading. I hope you have a great day. Goodbye.